Richard Tiffany Gere was born on February 7th, 1949, in Philadelphia, but he grew up in the quieter pace of Syracuse, New York, the second of 5 children in a hardworking, modest household. His father, Homer, worked in insurance, and his mother, Doris, ran the home with care, instilling a sense of discipline, empathy, and integrity that would later guide him through the dizzying world of Hollywood. Unlike many children drawn to attention or early fame, Richard was quietly introspective, curious, and deeply observant, often preferring the company of books, music, or nature to boisterous social settings. He found comfort in movement and the body's potential, excelling in gymnastics, which eventually earned him a scholarship to the University of Massachusetts, where he studied philosophy. This academic path allowed him to ask questions about existence, meaning, and purpose that would remain with him throughout his life, shaping the way he approached art, relationships, and career choices. Alongside philosophy, music became a sanctuary. He taught himself piano, guitar, and trumpet, learning early on how melody could express what words sometimes could not. This combination of intellectual curiosity, physical discipline, and artistic sensitivity created a foundation that would distinguish him from most actors, blending thoughtfulness with an intuitive understanding of human emotion. His childhood, though humble, was rich in love, values, and quiet exploration, and it was here that the seeds of his later authenticity and grounded nature were planted, even before the bright lights of fame beckoned. Discovering the stage. In the early 1970s, driven by a quiet ambition and an innate sense of curiosity, Richard Gere moved to New York City with little more than determination, a guitar slung across his back, and a desire to explore the world of acting. The beginning was far from glamorous. He performed in small theater productions, learning to inhabit characters and discover the subtle language of presence. One of his earliest triumphs came when he landed the role of Danny Zuko in a London stage production of Grease, years before the story became a global sensation through other actors. Critics and audiences alike noticed his authenticity. He did not rely on glitz or showmanship, but on a natural charisma and subtle intensity that made his performances compelling and real. During this time, Richard also explored meditation and Buddhism, seeking insight beyond the physical and the performative. He was not chasing fame, but a deeper understanding of life and his place in it, a pursuit that gave him a rare equilibrium, the ability to balance the often superficial world of acting with inner reflection and personal growth. Friends remembered him as kind, thoughtful, and quietly magnetic, a man who seemed simultaneously present and contemplative, someone who drew people in not merely by appearance, but by the depth of his attention and curiosity. These early years set the stage for a career that would blend artistry, introspection, and an undeniable screen presence, giving him tools to navigate Hollywood on his own terms. Breaking through, Richard Gere's first major screen appearance came in 1978 with Terrence Malick's Days of Heaven, a film remembered for its visual poetry and understated storytelling. Cast as a drifter caught in a complex love story, Gere demonstrated a naturalistic style, conveying emotion through gestures, expression, and subtle energy rather than dialogue-heavy performance. The film allowed audiences and critics alike to see him not just as a handsome face, but as an actor capable of depth, nuance, and a rare ability to make internal conflict resonate outwardly. His real breakthrough, however, came in 1980 with American Gigolo, a role that instantly made him a cultural touchstone. Portraying Julian Kay, a sophisticated high-end escort navigating desire, ambition, and danger, Gere embodied the seductive elegance of the era while bringing humanity and vulnerability to the character. Audiences were captivated not only by his wardrobe and good looks, but by the way he conveyed longing, uncertainty, and emotional complexity in a manner that made the character unforgettable. Overnight, he transitioned from promising actor to cinematic phenomenon, yet he approached his rising fame with caution, choosing projects that challenged him rather than simply capitalized on his newfound popularity. This combination of magnetism and discernment became a defining feature of his career, setting him apart from many contemporaries who chased fame or scandal without concern for depth. Defining the romantic hero. The early 1980s cemented Richard Gere's status as the quintessential romantic lead. In An Officer and a Gentleman, 1982, he portrayed Zach Mayo, a naval trainee whose hardened exterior concealed a deeply wounded heart. Gere's performance combined strength, charm, and vulnerability, with moments of tenderness that became instantly iconic, such as the scene of carrying his love interest across the factory floor, a cinematic moment etched into popular imagination. Through this and subsequent films, he demonstrated a remarkable ability to merge grit with grace, drawing audiences into stories of passion, struggle, and connection. He continued to experiment, embracing diverse roles in films such as Breathless, 1983, and The Cotton Club, 1984, exploring characters that were flawed, layered, and at times morally ambiguous. Unlike many peers, Gere resisted typecasting, seeking characters that allowed him to probe emotional and ethical complexities. This period revealed his commitment to artistry over mere stardom, highlighting a rare blend of skill, integrity, and presence that would remain a hallmark of his career. For audiences, he was not only a romantic ideal, but a window into the human heart, someone who could make the gestures of love, longing, and struggle feel real and immediate. The golden era, Pretty Woman, and beyond. The 1990s marked a pivotal chapter in Gere's life and career. In 1990, he starred as Edward Lewis in Pretty Woman, opposite Julia Roberts, then an emerging talent. The story of a wealthy businessman and a spirited woman from a different social world captured hearts worldwide, and Gere's performance was magnetic, grounded, and deeply human. He balanced charm with sincerity, sophistication with approachability, creating a modern vision of romance that resonated across generations. The film achieved massive commercial success, catapulting Roberts into stardom and solidifying Gere's place as a leading man for the ages. Yet even at this peak, he was careful to preserve his artistic and personal integrity, choosing projects that challenged him creatively and personally. Over the following years, he appeared in thrillers, courtroom dramas, and musicals, including Primal Fear, 1996, and Chicago, 2002, demonstrating versatility and depth beyond romance. Simultaneously, he dedicated energy to humanitarian causes, supporting Tibetan human rights, AIDS awareness, and other global initiatives. This dual identity, a beloved cinematic figure and a principled activist, became central to his legacy, reflecting a commitment to authenticity and moral clarity, even in an industry often dominated by spectacle, fame, and principles. By the late 1990s, Richard Gere's star was indisputable, yet his steadfast principles sometimes put him at odds with industry expectations. Studios increasingly focused on international markets, and Gere's advocacy for Tibet and alignment with the Dalai Lama were viewed as controversial in regions such as China. He could have compromised to maintain or expand his career, but he chose not to, prioritizing conscience over opportunity. This decision cost him certain high-profile roles, yet it underscored a remarkable consistency. He valued meaning, integrity, and contribution over fame or fortune. In a world where celebrity often requires compromise, Gere maintained a rare authenticity, demonstrating that success could coexist with ethical clarity. The cost of principle was tangible, but he regarded it not as sacrifice but as alignment with the life he wished to lead, a life in which influence was measured by action rather than applause. This period of his life highlighted a recurring theme: the ability to navigate external pressures without surrendering personal truth. The quiet decline. The 2000s witnessed a shift in Gere's public visibility. While no longer appearing in blockbuster hits, he pursued independent films and complex character-driven narratives that allowed him to continue exploring human psychology and emotional depth. Films such as Arbitrage, 2012, and Norman, 2016, demonstrated his enduring talent and subtlety, though they did not achieve the commercial impact of his earlier work. Alongside professional transitions, his personal life experienced significant change, including a decade-long marriage that ended in 2013. The divorce, though handled with dignity, coincided with the gradual fading of mainstream attention, emphasizing the reality that even the most celebrated figures must navigate ordinary human challenges. For Gere, these years became a time of reflection, a chance to reassess priorities and redirect focus toward aspects of life that provided genuine fulfillment beyond recognition. The combination of fading fame and personal transition offered an opportunity for growth, deepening his understanding of love, family, and selfhood. A life beyond the spotlight. Rather than chasing continued celebrity, Richard Gere embraced a quieter, more intentional life. Away from the glare of blockbusters, he devoted himself to family, faith, and meaningful humanitarian work. In 2018, he married Alejandra Silva, a Spanish activist and publicist, decades his junior, and together they built a family, welcoming 2 children who brought grounding and purpose to his daily life. The marriage attracted media attention, but Gere viewed it as a new chapter in partnership, love, and shared values rather than public spectacle. His activism deepened, supporting causes like Tibet, environmental protection, and global humanitarian efforts, work often invisible to the mainstream media, yet profoundly impactful. This chapter reflects a man prioritizing alignment with personal principles over external validation, demonstrating that significance can be measured in influence, compassion, and service rather than visibility or fame. Legacy of integrity. Richard Gere's later years offer an enduring lesson about character and choice. He did not leave Hollywood in scandal or decline, but on his own terms, preserving dignity, principle, and authenticity. His films remain timeless, but his legacy is equally rooted in the decisions he made to live ethically and meaningfully. Audiences remember the romantic hero, the magnetic performer, yet those who understand his life beyond the screen recognize the courage and wisdom in choosing conscience over compromise. He showed that lasting impact is not defined solely by awards or recognition, but by the principles we live by and the lives we touch. Gere's story exemplifies how integrity, humility, and thoughtful action can outlast transient fame, offering a model of influence that is both subtle and profound. The human side of a legend. In truth, Richard Gere's story is not one of decline, but of transformation. He transitioned from the center of cinematic attention to a life focused on family, faith, and humanitarian service, demonstrating that fulfillment comes from choice, not applause. He maintained elegance, empathy, and magnetism while redirecting energy toward what truly mattered, proving that personal evolution can coexist with public admiration. For fans, he remains a symbol of romance and artistry. For those aware of his activism, he exemplifies courage, conscience, and quiet leadership. Gere's life encourages reflection on values, priorities, and the cost of living authentically in a world that often prizes illusion and spectacle. He is both a romantic prince of a cinematic era and a man of principles who willingly stepped away from the throne to pursue meaning aligned with his heart. A life fully lived, Richard Gere's journey reminds us that fulfillment is not measured by accolades or fame, but by authenticity, love, and contribution. He embraced family, fatherhood, art, and activism with equal care, accepting law, scrutiny, and the natural ebb of public attention without compromise. His work in character-driven films reaffirmed the enduring fire of talent, showing that true artistry evolves rather than diminishes. Even as the world shifted focus elsewhere, Gere continued to influence quietly through mentorship, humanitarian work, and steadfast commitment to what he believed. His life reflects the power of choice, resilience, and moral clarity, illustrating that stepping away from the spotlight can enrich one's legacy with depth, purpose, and personal fulfillment. The enduring question. As history reflects on Richard Gere, one might ask whether he is remembered as the romantic hero who defined an era or the man who gave up fame for principle. Perhaps he is both, embodying charm, elegance, and cinematic magic while exemplifying courage through ethical and personal choices. His life demonstrates that true heroism sometimes exists not on screen, but in the decisions we make, the values we uphold, and the lives we touch quietly yet profoundly. Richard Gere's greatest role may have been the one he played in real life, a man navigating love, integrity, and the pursuit of meaning with grace, compassion, and unwavering resolve. Reflection. Ultimately, Richard Gere's story is a tapestry of triumph and quiet introspection, of fame balanced with principle, and of personal transformation that transcends the ephemeral nature of Hollywood stardom. His life offers lessons about the enduring value of authenticity, the power of choice, and the impact of living in alignment with one's values. In an industry and world often dominated by illusion, Gere demonstrates that the courage to follow one's conscience, to embrace love, family, and service is revolutionary. His story reminds us that a life well lived is measured not by accolades, but by integrity, kindness, and the depth of connection we cultivate with others. Richard Gere leaves a legacy that inspires reflection, inviting us to consider what truly matters and how we might navigate our own journeys with purpose, compassion, and courage.